It's poppin' squad, it's your boy Jesimein. Today we have some Defiance gameplay, and I'm gonna answer some questions that a lot of people have been asking when it comes to power level and progressing in the game and getting stronger. So first things first, before I even get into it, if you're a beginner, let me tell you something. When I started this game, even back then, I was super stingy with my materials, my salvage. I didn't want to use it on anything because I felt I wanted to save it for a really good gun. And since we're out leveling weapons so fast, it was pretty much useless to invest into a weapon. But honestly, after playing the game, going in game, beating it, and barely starting my true end game, I realized that the best thing to do literally is to use every single piece of salvage you can during the power up process, and then at the end of the game is when you start getting your real gear anyways, because everything is expendable, even your prototype weapon. So what do I mean by that? So if I go to my inventory right here, you can see that you do get a million different types of guns, right? And the prototypes being supposed to be the legendaries. They're supposed to be the really important ones that you don't want to get rid of. But as you can see, even my first legendary is extremely underpowered compared to where I'm at now. So I invested a lot into it. As you can see, I have plus 120 because I thought, you know, no matter what, it levels with you. It does not. That's why they give us the option to replicate, because we're able to buy it back at our high level. So if you're scared to invest, I can see why, because I was like, man, I don't even use this gun anymore. What was the point of it? But honestly, I'm telling you, this is how the game works. So as you can see at the top left, I'm 2357 power level. How this system works, and it's very confusing to people who don't understand it, because they don't understand why they're not leveling up. The reason you're not leveling up is because you don't have a higher power score to get drops that are equal to that power score and up, in order for you to upgrade those and to keep going up. So basically, this is how it works. Let's say I get a level, let's just use this assault rifle for example. It's 2334, and that's not even fully upgraded. If I was to equip this and it made my power level 2324, everything that drops for me from that point on will be 2334 and up, or roughly like the best rolls of it. So how do you power up with this? So if I was to enhance this weapon with my salvage and get this up to, I don't know, like 2440, yes, I'm hard capped because it was 2334, but when I get this to 2400 and I get my other weapons to 2400 and I do everything, I get up to 2400, and what happens is items drop starting around 2400. So when I get those items, I upgrade those, and those go to 2500. Then I start getting 2500 drops, and those go up to 2600, and it goes up like that. The only way to speed up this process is to upgrade everything you touch, so that every single drop you get is always better than the last. Yes, it's extremely expensive as far as spending salvage, but if you are going through your side missions, if you are doing your story mode, you have enough to keep this habit up. It does catch up to you, because like around now, it's kind of catching up to me, and it's kind of getting really hard to upgrade these, because when they start getting rare, they take a lot more. But to be honest, all it does is slow down the process a little bit, because when you're in your early game, it takes nothing to upgrade these things, man. You can max out each weapon you touch from mission to mission. So that's what you want to do. Make sure every time you get a weapon, obviously only do the ones that you're using. My method's different no matter what gun I got. I mean, it was a good way for me to practice every weapon. But even if I hated the gun, if it had a higher power rank, I was using it just so that my power rank was as high as it could possibly be in my inventory, and then hopefully I get a weapon I like that's higher power level, and I can use that to do, you know, the mission until I upgrade. So when you get a new weapon, I don't care if it's a green, I don't care if it's primarily honestly the best case scenario is if it is a green, because it takes less to upgrade than it would be a blue or a purple or even a prototype. Obviously, like as you can see, this is 12 out of 25, and you go to here, it's 1 out of 20, and then the blue ones are my 9 out of 15, and then my green ones are out of 10. So you can get the maximum potential of each weapon depending on its rarity. It's easiest to get green. So if you get greens, don't just because the rarity, don't say I don't want to use it. There are greens that are stronger than a lot of the like, look at my prototype. You can see it's 374, and if you go to this higher ranked green, it's way higher, 1431. So don't think just because the rarity is lower that the damage or something is going to be horrible. For some reason, I don't know if this game is like I don't know if that's the main design, but it seems like only big difference between the rarity of the weapons are the mastery bonuses. So you can see the mastery bonuses and the rolls. I'm not gonna lie, the modified bonus rolls are way lower, but the mastery bonus, you can see I have 1 on the green, I have 2 on the blue, I have 3 on the purple, and then I have 4 on the prototype weapons. But the rolls are way higher on, obviously, like purple. You can see like my accuracy or my damage is like 62 flat, and if I was to find like a blue one that damage is maxed out, it's only 54. So you guys can see. So the secret to leveling up fast, I'm telling you guys, I mean, I just started doing it when I realized it about 2 days ago, and I literally jumped about 1,600 power score in like a day. When you get a weapon, upgrade it. When you get a better shield, equip it instantly. Like, always check your shields and grenades. Always. Even if it's middle of the mission, take a second. If you picked it up, like, what I do is if I see a shield or a grenade I pick up, I immediately go to my loadout and check it, because I know if I equip this and I'm in the middle of a mission, any mission drop I'm going to get is going to be higher at the end, so it's going to be better for me. So anytime you get a shield or grenade on the floor, pick it up always and check it to see whichever is the highest. Don't even look at the name, especially in the beginning of the game. Don't even pay attention to it. Don't pay attention to whether it's a Fortified Rebel, Ironclad, or Respark, which is the best. I personally think Respark's the best, but at the same time, that doesn't matter until true end game, where you're not switching out gear so much. Throughout the main story missions, you're gonna be switching through a lot of gear, learning a lot of different weapons, and playing with a lot of different classes. So if I were you, I would just upgrade your main. Always make sure to upgrade your main weapons, and always check your shield and grenades. Every single time you get a drop, you should be looking at it to see if it's worth to equip. Literally, I'll be mid-mission, I'll get a drop, I'll literally go to it. I don't care if the stats or whatever. I mean, if you like the weapon, sure, fine, whatever. But I'll literally go to enhanced weapon, and I'll literally just start upgrading it. I don't care how much salvage I have. The salvage is expendable. I rather get better gear so that I can progress through the story easier. And I'm telling you guys, even though it would seem like this is making your game harder, because with your power level comes harder enemies, for the most part, it's how the game scales. You're gonna start feeling more and more OP, versus having to catch up to them. I mean, the hardest part of the game, I think, is in the beginning, because you're not one-shotting enemies and stuff. It's a little bit more difficult, and you're not as protected. But for the most part, like I said, if you guys want to level up fast, as far as power level, this is the best way, and I think it's a solid way. It's the way I used, and as you can see, I'm 2357, which is pretty high. So yeah, and as far as your classes, you will end up leveling all your classes. Like, I got 25 on almost everything except assault. So by the end of the game, using this method, I was able to max out 4 classes. So if just to gauge yourself, like, if you already beat the game, I mean, that's fine or whatever. But I'm just saying, for the people who haven't yet and still have main missions to do, you around 4 or 5 classes. I mean, unless you've just been switching off back and forth. I remember I used Combat Medic a lot, so I didn't get a chance to switch it off. So, like, my main verdict, I'll just throw this as like a bonus. I still believe Combat Medic is the best, but Assassin and Assault are nothing to mess with as far as DPS. These two are actual DPS builds. Assassin combos crazy with stealth. Assault is just running gun. But Guardian is really good in team situations. There's a lot of benefits with Guardian. I'm making a video on this setup I have with Guardian that's insane. So yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. For the people who've been wanting to know how to power rank, that is the best way. That is the only way. There is no other secret as far as I know. It's a pretty solid way. My method is extremely salvage heavy. So if you know how to farm for salvage, do that. As you can see, it's kind of catching up to me. Mine's still rank 1, but as you can see, I got to 2300 really fast, and now I can kind of like relax, get guns I actually like, try to land some more purples, try to get some purple shields and purple grenades, so I can be set up for end game missions to get really good arc falls and using my arc keys and stuff. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have any questions, hopefully this helped the newer arc hunters and the people who are trying out the game. You can perfect for you. Like, if you don't got this game yet and you're thinking about downloading it, you just got the biggest secret that's gonna make you OP. I mean, whoever doesn't watch this video, I apologize in advance that these new players are gonna catch up and pass you instantly, because that's pretty much what happened with me. With a lot of my friends, I passed them up quick with this method. So yeah, it's been real. Thank y'all. Your boy is out.